Right to be Read podcast, episode number 5, Criticism.
You are listening to the Right to be Read podcast, and this is your host, Ani Alexander.
Hello everyone, this is Ani, and I'm really happy to welcome you to the Right to be Read podcast. Today I'm not interviewing anyone. This will be a solo episode, quite short one, but I would really like to talk to you about a writer's biggest fear, and that is, to my mind, the criticism. Many writers don't share their writings because they are not ready for criticism, and they're really scared of it. And what I would say is that they should just change their mindset and think that the criticism itself is unavoidable. And even if people don't criticize their books, they will always find something else to criticize. So they can't really avoid criticism in general in life. We all come to it and we all face it. And there is just no way to avoid criticism at all. And as a proof, I would like to quote Aristotle, who said, "To avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing." And since it's not possible, avoiding criticism is not possible either. So when I wrote my first novel, which is called Highfall, for the first time I was writing fiction which was longer than 3 pages. And what I did was I let it sleep in my computer for months because I was not ready to show it to other people. So in fact what I did was I showed it to my close friends and family and asked to provide feedback. And this is maybe the worst thing I could do, because those people could not provide objective feedback because they knew me, and even if they didn't like the book, most probably they wouldn't tell it to me. So I didn't share the book with others because I thought it wasn't good enough or because I didn't want to share it, but simply I realized that I was not yet ready for criticism, and I was trying to psychologically prepare myself to it. And it took quite a while, but I got the courage. Later on, I self-published the book on Amazon, and I received different reviews. I had 5 stars, I had 1 star, but it didn't bother me too much because I already had the right mindset to address criticism. So how did I manage to reduce the fear of criticism and look at it differently? Well, I came up with several thoughts which helped me see criticism as something helpful and positive, because I wasn't sure that criticism is only a bad thing, and I tried to find some advantages we can get from criticism. And I'm not talking here about the nasty people who just try to hurt you, people who for various reasons put bad reviews without even reading your book just because they don't like you, etc. I'm talking about objective criticism, which later on can help you evolve and write better. So I guess I'll just go through the points which helped me look at criticism in a positive way and share them with you, and later on maybe you will also look at it differently. So first of all, the most important thing is just remember that it's not about you. Whatever they're criticizing they are not criticizing yourself. They are criticizing what you have written, and it's a different thing. So do not take it personally. Instead, take it easy. The other thing which I thought of is that if you think about it, you cannot look at what you've written from the, let's say, outside. Because no matter how hard you will try, there will be absolutely no way to see your creation with strangers' eyes. how others will perceive what you have done and what you have written is something you will not be able to know without listening to what they want to say. And there's just no alternative way of finding out how they perceive your writing but sharing the writing with them. So it's just a natural thing that most probably there will be people who will perceive what you've written differently than what you really thought while writing. Also, an obvious thing, but worth mentioning also, it's that no one is perfect. There is absolutely no one who is perfect and who's got nothing to criticize about. Even the ones you think that are perfect, most probably there are just some facts about them that you don't know. But no one, absolutely no one, is perfect. And since no one is, and you are not also, you can take the criticism as subjects which will help you improve. So critique will pinpoint things which need improvement, and you will know which points to concentrate on, to focus and make them better in the book which was criticized and in your upcoming books as well. Also, you should take into consideration that criticism is a success indicator. The more attention your work receives, the more criticism you will have to deal with. So don't be upset by criticism itself, rather value the fact that at least someone noticed what you've written, because there are many writers who are neglected and people don't even think that it's worth writing a review, even a negative one, because they just don't care. And the other point which I would like to mention is filtering criticism. I will try to explain what I mean by filtering criticism. So, no one said that you should accept everyone's criticism. There are people whose opinion may not be important to you, actually. So some people may criticize just for the sake of it. Some others may not understand what you've done. And you should decide for yourself who you will be listening to and which points you are going to accept and which are important for you. But on the other hand, you can look also at the criticism as strong motivation. No one said that all critics you receive are right. In case they are not, you will have to desire to prove them wrong. And believe me, that strong desire will drive you and become your motivation to success. So, for some, to criticize you, it means that he cares. Because the person could have used the time to do many other things, but that person chose to take the time and provide you with constructive criticism instead. That itself is something to appreciate. So also, I would like to pay attention to what Winston Churchill said. He said, criticism may not be agreeable, but it is necessary. It fulfills the same function as pain in the human body. It calls attention to an unhealthy state of things. So, criticism is also necessary. And if you pay attention to the right points mentioned in the criticism, they will indicate the right things that you have to do. But the most important out of everything is keeping the balance. And what I mean by this is many people allow criticism ruin their self-confidence. There are some people, on the other hand, who are so self-confident that they refuse to accept any kind of criticism. And the key here is trying to keep the balance. So I guess what I mean is another quote for Norman Vincent Peale. It says, "The trouble with most of us is that we'd rather be ruined by praise than saved by criticism." So I guess the most important is how you move forward after you receive a critique. So, will I forget about my novel in case of negative criticism? No, I won't. Will I improve it based on the feedback I received? Yes, if I find it constructive, objective criticism, yes, I will. Will I give up my decision to become a writer? No, absolutely not. But a critique or a bad review should not have such importance and should not play such a big role in order to make me give up my dream. So the point is, one has to decide the limits of how much power one is ready to give to the critique, and only then seek one. So I will personally keep going, and I won't give up, and I don't think there can be any kind of critique which will make me give up the idea of being a writer and stop writing. So that is impossible. But critique is not really a bad thing and not always a bad thing, and that was something I wanted to tell you about. So you already more or less know how I deal with critiques and bad reviews. What about you? Share your stories, share your strategies, and give some tips to those who take critiques so close to their heart that it stops them from writing. Well, that was it for today. You can come and join our community at the closed Facebook group at www.facebook.com/groups/right2be-read, 2 written as a number. Also, if you haven't already, please take a minute to leave a quick rating and review of the podcast on iTunes. It's the best way to help me grow the show and reach more people. I would really appreciate that. So that was it for today. Thank you very much for listening. I really hope to meet you in the next episode.